To my honest Millstone, Shalom to I believe his word. Got the four corners to answer with sincerity. Back out another week. Prophesy the downfall of Babylon and it's a wake up. The so-called black slide sinners and Native Americans who they truly are. Alright, we are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites. Alright, and it's time to repent for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Back to the speaker.
That's right. And when we say that we're prophesying the downfall of a kingdom, that's not a light thing. Right? We're prophesying the economic downfall of the kingdom, the moral downfall of the kingdom, because what did the Lord say that he would he would visit, he would get that he would visit he would make inquisition. Okay? He will make inquisition to those that right? Because the downfall of the kingdom is a process. Right? And we're in that process right now. Well, actually been in that process, but it's still in the process. Like something circling the drain.
I got it. You need it.
Right? When something is circling the drain, it takes time, right? So that's where we're in now. And everybody sees that it's going down, but everybody's like, you know, like a roller coaster going down. You don't want to go down. You know, you're like, oh fuck. You know, that's where we are. Okay, so the America has gotten a lot worse within the last. I ain't even gonna go back 50, just 10.
Nope.
20. It's getting terrible. You got it, Samantha.
So this is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 6, verse 19. And will begin to make inquisition of them, what they be that have hurt unjustly with their unrighteousness, and when the affliction of Zion shall be fulfilled.
That's right. And who was that? That's talking about starting with the so-called white race, right? The so-called white man, the Edomites, was they have hurt unjustly. So the Most High, he would what Sirach 10 says, right? Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, riches got by deceit, a kingdom is going to be translated from one people into another. And this is what happens. This is what happens when you rule unrighteously. God takes away your power, and he gives it to another people.
Yeah. I wanted to bring this out real quick. You have more on that, brother?
That's it.
This is Isaiah chapter 19 and verse 1. It says, the burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved in his presence, and the heart of the Egyptian of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. All right, so when the Lord comes back, man, that'll be the full collapse of this new spiritual Egypt, man. Okay, he's going to come in the chariots, all right, and when they see the Lord, man, all their idols and their witchcraft, their military, all right, the way they thought things, you know, should go, the course of the world, all right, that whole idea that they have in their mind is going to shatter, man.
Yep. Because they hold these summits.
Yeah.
Right? Like you said, the trajectory, they got plans. Okay, the trajectory, we're going here.
Yeah.
So when the Lord come back, he's going to shatter their plans.
Right.
Destroy the whole security system.
Exactly. It says, and I will set Egyptian against Egyptian, and they shall fight everyone against his neighbor, and everyone against his everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom, man. All right, and we're seeing that spirit stirred up in Babylon right now. Okay, all right, there's division going on, man, and it's gonna get you know, real bad, man. Like it's gonna be neighborhood versus neighborhood, you know, potentially state versus state, you know, a civil war. All right, and she talked about that in 2nd Esdras 15 chapter, man. All right, how there shall be sedition amongst men. Okay, all right, now verse 3, it says, and the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to wizards. Okay, all right, so the spirit of Egypt shall fail. All right, like you said, the morale of America is breaking down over time, and this is prophetic, man. All right, and that's what happens when a kingdom is coming to an end, man. And you see that, you know, even when we were in ancient Egypt, you know, the Lord started bringing plagues upon the ancient Egyptians, man. You know, the Pharaoh's counselors was like, yo, hey, we gotta let these people go. Mm-hmm. You know, even Pharaoh himself, there was times he was thinking about letting the people go, but then the Lord hardened his heart. Okay? All right, so these plagues, man, and the judgments that the Lord is bringing upon this place is breaking down the morale, is breaking down the infrastructure, is breaking down the culture, is breaking down the pride. They actually, there's been reports that went out that patriotism is at
very true.
Now, we were talking about how the Lord is, slowly taking down Babylon, and even to the coming of Yahawashi, the Lord is about to interrupt his plans. So, Joel chapter 20, verse 22, says, "In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. When he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating." One saying we like to say, the Lord's going to basically pull that rug. Okay, he's going to use Yahawashi when he comes through to destroy all his plans. And what's the Lord revealed to us through the Spirit, right? We say we're not ignorant of the same devices. All right, and, in his decrees and things like that, that he has an agenda. All right, which one major agenda is merging man with machine? Okay, now what do they call it? What the fourth industrial revolution? Okay, but that's not gonna play part to its extent.
Yep, it's fullness. It's not going to reach its fullness.
Right, and the reason how we know that, is because when we actually go to Revelation the 13th chapter, all right, it talks about the mark of the beast. Immediately after that, which we understand the mark of the beast is the RFID device, the chip. Okay, all right, that's the mark of the beast, man. And they're gonna have it set up to where you have to be implanted with that technology in order to buy and sell and operate in this kingdom, man. Okay, that's what they're setting this whole new grid and this new system up for. All right, now in their mind, they're looking at that as a as a first step, transhumanism, and really fully bringing on the full merger between man and machine. Okay, but when you read Revelation the 13th chapter, all right, it goes from that to the Revelation the 14th chapter, and it talks about the destruction of Babylon and the destruction of those that took the mark of the beast. So again, that's what I want to show you. There's man's trajectory, and there's a Most High's will. Okay? All right, Esau, a lot of the stuff that he's saying, it's really just him speaking loftily against the Lord, and him just being proud. Okay? But is that the actual will of the Most High God? As far as the end all be all, no. Okay? All right, as soon as Esau starts pushing out this microchip and making it mandatory for people to take it, however exactly he sets it in order to where, it might be an EMP or whatever, however he does it to where there's no other choice. All right, from that point forward, things are going to move really, really fast and break out into all-out war.
Yep.
Okay, and so his devices will not come to pass. As scripture say, it says, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness, man. And he disappointed the devices of the crafty. All right, bring it out, brother.
Job 5:12, he disappointed the devices of the crafty so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the forward is carried headlong.
That's right. Okay, so Esau's devices, you got to understand a lot of things that he's saying is him just being prideful against the Lord, man. And of course, we can link certain things up to the scriptures, but at the end of the day, man, all right, we got to be confident that the Lord's going to do what he said he will. Okay, the Lord's really getting ready to confound all of this man's folly, man. All this AI and fucking robots and shit. Okay, all right, all that bullshit, the Lord's getting ready to confound it, man. And it's going to be dramatic way, especially in the time of Jacob's trouble, man. When he really started to use, come down with the great wrath knowing that he had but a short time. He's going to be using AI and robots and all this stuff, to try to solidify his oppression and tyranny over the nations. That's when the Lord's really going to turn up on the right-hand side, perform those right-hand side miracles the same way it was when Moses and Aaron against Janus and Jambres. Okay? All right, the clash between the left hand and the right hand, of the Most High, the good and the evil, is coming to its peak, to its maximum, man.
That's right.
Okay? And righteousness is going to overcome it. All right? I quoted it. I'm reading NLT in KJV. It says 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. It says, "Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices." I'm reading NLT. It says, so that Satan will not outsmart us, for we are familiar with his evil schemes. Right? All right, we're the physical counterpart of Satan, the so-called righteousness. All right, and brothers have got a good point that AI is something that he's getting people to come really quick, and which people need see on the market and see, okay, man, should I buy or should I sell? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that accustomadness to letting or allowing technology to help you make decisions, okay, that's going to make it easier for the transition to revenue. It's not for people to take a chip and they, you know, they have to, you know, go to the store or go do this or that. It'll be easy.
Yep.
Okay, it'll be easy, an easy adaptation. The people who can't adapt are going to die.
Yeah.
Okay, and Esau doesn't give a fuck. He don't care. He don't care that, you know, a lot of people got to die to bring forth the system that he's trying to bring in. He don't give a fuck about
Like,
people's life.
you already look at your shit as going.
Yeah, and honestly, the more people die on the way there, the better, because that means it's less people control. You know, and the ones that are you know, still alive, you know, however he does it, it could be EMP, it could be you know, war, it could be whatever. You know, it could be causing the bridge to collapse. The woman's blind. Somebody help guide her. She's blind.
Excuse me, is it okay to go?
Yeah, no, there's a camera.
There's a camera right there.
Yeah, and she's.
Thank you, I leave for the day.
Yeah, we know. We met you before. Yeah, that was a lady last summer. She was blind. She needed help. And she lived in that condo. Somebody help her, bro. Somebody help her. Yeah, she lived in that condo.
You got it?
Okay. Yeah, bro.
You know, making it more comfortable.
Yeah,
making
making
those
it
decisions.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? It'll be easier transition.
Exactly.
Yep.
You know, really, it's a snare, right? Because you went into the NLT. Well, you finished?
No, I got something.
Yeah, I got an article right here.
No, you got it, bro.
Because you guys speaking of AI. This is from Fox News. It came out May 31st. Oh, interesting. May 31st, 13. Love that number. Brain implant enables ALS patient to communicate using AI.
Yeah.
See that?
Yeah, give me that in Revelation. See by those miracles.
Yup.
Right, and there's also another precept in 2 Thessalonians, the 3rd chapter. Talks
Look.
about his miracles.
Right here, it says, thanks to a groundbreaking Neuralink brain implant, Smith, the guy who has ALS, is now able to communicate with words using only his thoughts.
See, and that's a snare. You know, the scriptures, everything that you're witnessing in real life, we have the answers. Right? These are all wiles of the devil's trickery. This is all planned.
Fox News,
You know,
hot off the press.
and you enter into the fourth industrial revolution, right? And if you don't want to get down with it, get down, like Bishop Lloyd said, you know, you're gonna get laid down, right? Because entering into this new system requires you to choose a side,
It's like he lives out
and
here.
those that don't want to choose a side get left behind, so to speak. And this is why the Revelation 13 is going to be the ultimate line in the sand. That's the ultimate line in the sand that you're going to have to worship Satan or worship the Most High. And that's going to be where the cutoff that's the ultimate cutoff. It ain't going to be no more, see, you can wiggle around now. So you're going to be able to wiggle around when the chip come out.
That's why it's considered the hour station.
Exactly. You're going to have to make a
Right,
decision.
have to do that.
So,
Brothers don't know what it's
Most
doing.
high, Yahawashi144. Are you gonna serve Satan?
you're going to serve Satan because in this new system, your God will be Satan. That's the new system.
Who got it? You got it? Revelation 13 and 14, and deceiving them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles.
See, he deceived them, right? Because he's going to say what? Oh, this new brain chip right here can get you to see again, get you to walk again, can get you to do this. You won't have diabetes no more. You'll be a superhuman.
They'll be able to see.
You can download all everything on Google. You can be Chat GPT in your mind. There's nothing. You'll be limitless. You
You'll
won't.
be able to give somebody that never talked with you.
Exactly. You'll be able to talk again. You know, which is left hand miracles.
But they say they marvel at the beast.
They mark, wow. You know, the average person that doesn't have the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, to them, that's awesome.
You know, hey, to give an example, when we was kids and we heard of flying planes, in
Flying
the future.
cars, you know,
Ooh,
RoboCop,
wow.
you know.
Yeah.
We thought that was cool. You know, but go ahead, Ira.
It says, when you get Revelation 13 and 14, and deceiving them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of who?
What she had power to do, right? When the ancient Egyptian sorcerers, they had power too.
Yeah.
game. We ain't just up here saying abracadabra. These motherfuckers, they worship their God, which is Satan.
Speaking on so-called white man, they just came out with the article. They just came out where they talking about in their what they call it near future with some type of technology that's gonna make people live forever. Mm-hmm. That's the part of the thing that's gonna cause go along with this.
Yep.
So basically, what Esau's doing, he's making a incorruptible body in a sense. Just like, like the Lord's going to give us an incorruptible body, he's trying to do it on the left hand side.
Like a fake birthright.
Yeah, there it goes.
Because, what came with that birthright was immortality.
Right.
And he's trying to do it on the left hand side because he sold it. He sold it.
That's
And
it.
he's trying to get it. You sold it already.
Can't get it, bro.
Can't get it back.
Just like Jacob.
So he basically going to try and force everybody to his sick, psychotic plan. And our people are going to fall for it. Some of our people, they are going to fall for it. The people are going to fall for it. What does it say? Those that are not written in the book of life shall worship the image of the beast.
Yep.
So if you're not written in the book of life, you're going to get chipped and dipped.
Chipped and dipped.
You're going to follow the ways of Babylon the Great. You're going to follow the ways of Rome, ancient Rome. Here again.
Oh, my ass.
You know what I'm saying? When in Rome, what they going to do?
A man the article before said that C-19 was a whole plan to fulfill the Fourth Industrial Revolution. So what that means is that the C-19 was a plan to really go into the MOTV.
Yeah.
So there's multiple articles and how people had to scan, QR codes and learn the technology. So it's all part of the plan.
Yes.
You gotta think about what's really going on. You know what I'm saying? You got
Right. Surveillance under the skin. That's part of the MOTV system too, man. Being when you actually go into the word for charagma, charax, and all of that, goes into keeping records, writing. Okay.
They're storing information.
Yeah, exactly.
And they told you, we brought out these lessons already. When they go to these summits, the forum, the World Economic Forum, all these people up here talking, they told you in front of your face what they want to do. They didn't hide it. Klaus Schwab told you straight up, you want nothing to be happy.
Right. And guess what? The majority of the people are with it. The brothers in Dallas had that encounter a week or so ago. People are with this shit, man. Just because, we are kind of in an echo chamber doesn't mean that everybody feels the same way. I remember I even asked one of my stepbrother, man, I asked him, hey, would you be okay with microchipping and stuff like that? He was like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are with this shit, bro. The scriptures say all those who would not worship the Lamb, worship the Lamb, and not written in the book of life, are going to worship the image of the beast. If you're not part of the elect, you're going to fall.
A lot of people gonna look at the chip as a solution, just like they looked at the mask in COVID. They was with it. You couldn't go into your freaking auntie house without having a mask on because these Americans, they was pushed on their media that this is the solution to all of our problems, so they was with it. And the encounter that the bishop was talking about, the elders over there in Dallas, talking about that, right?
Yeah.
The Edomites, they were like, shit.
Yeah.
They would take that bitch.
Yeah, Esau definitely won't be with it.
Because
this is his chip. This is his shit.
right, because this is Babylon is Esau's blessing, and this is it for him.
Yeah.
And they see that it's going down the drain, like brothers were saying. They trying to heal it.
Yeah.
So at this point, a lot of Americans gonna do whatever it takes to keep their life going, to keep this American nightmare, so-called dream going.
Yeah.
So they gonna take that chip, man, and they gonna be tested, but they gonna easily fail. Because the hour of temptation is gonna come upon the whole world to try everybody.
Yeah.
A lot of people just gonna easily just fucking fail.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Esau and Moab, they like to be on the cutting edge of technology and shit. So it's gonna be cool. Oh, and you got the sci-fi genre. They made it cool.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? To be half man, half machine. That's cool. That's in the animes. That's in the movies. That's the Marvel, DC comics. You know what I'm saying? So And then people just gonna be with it.
Hey, Apple. Once Apple put their name on it, people gonna go for it. So now you can search in Google, Apple brain computer interface is gonna come up. First result. So that's how close that we are. Once Apple put their name on it, these people they gonna go for it. These young kids, they gonna go for the shit.
That's right. A lot, like we're talking about 2020, at that time of the pandemic, a lot of our people were moved by the certain things that Esau's throwing in his face. How much greater in the times to see it. Yeah. He gonna start throwing on you. You gonna get all types of benefits. You gonna get that what the digital coins or whatever you trying to throw out. Our people get moved by this shit.
Yeah. This was cool when you say you get a free donut and lap dance.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. It was free, man. So there you go, man. It don't take much, and then on top of that, you know how this is gonna be presented, man. All other options will be null and void. Now you see Esau taking away all these benefits for veterans and seniors and the lower class. You know what I'm saying? They just basically drain out the system, man. So now there's only one way, and hyperinflation ain't gonna stop. You know, these terrorists and sanctions and trade wars ain't gonna fucking stop, man. It's all on purpose, man, to get people in a state of extreme desperation and panic, man. The scriptures tell you in Revelation, the 6th chapter, I believe that it's how it's a measure of wheat, you know, for a penny, the measure of barley for a penny, man. Okay, which means a day's wages for a loaf of fucking bread. Okay, so let's say you work $20 an hour. You know what I'm saying?
The average is going to be less.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
It's probably like 150.
Right. 125 a day. You want loaf of bread?
That's crazy.
That's crazy. $125 for a box of Cheerios.
That's crazy.
That's bugged out.
And that's how you know cannibalism's coming back.
And people gonna panic, man. They gonna fucking panic, man. They gonna panic. It's gonna be chaos, man.
Cannibalism.
And that's just gonna be a prime situation, man. To be like, oh, we got a Russian, you know, the system, you know.
You know, the Lord said He will bring the plagues of Egypt. You know, He said He will plague Egypt again. You know, 2nd Ezra 16. And you know, He did the same thing in ancient Egypt. You know, the strategic strikes that the Lord did. He didn't just do it. You know, it was the reason why He did it. You know, He struck cattle. He struck trees. And, you know, He basically created a famine.
Yeah.
You know, you needed them cows, and also they worship those cows like these. You know, so the Lord is
You gotta worship the sun, they worship the river.
Yeah.
The Lord basically destroyed all of their idols. Yeah, all their little idols, all their, you know that was worshiping destroyed them. Because that was the center of their world.
Exactly.
So, and that put them in a state of desperation. Like, I'm gonna get the fuck out of here.
He's gonna do it again.
Yeah.
He's gonna do it again. He's gonna he tortured those Egyptians.
Yeah.
Like when you read it for face value, and when you actually go into Egypt and what they worshiped and stuff like that, their spirit was crushed.
Yeah. Yeah, and Pharaoh's pride was crushed too, man. You know, and that's gonna Pharaoh, he thought that he was God over his people, over the world, and over Israel, man. Because you know the Egyptians they had got into a level of prominence thanks to Joseph, man. The famine that was affecting that region at the time. You know, Joseph, he, through his wisdom, helped Pharaoh and Egypt get on the level, man. Stored the grain for 7 years, and had everybody basically sell themselves and sell their land for food, man. And that's how Pharaoh ended up becoming the ruler of all the land of Egypt and even portions of the land of Canaan, man.
Right.
Except for the priesthood. Of course, the Egyptian priesthood had their land, portions of land rights, but Pharaoh was the man, man.
Right. And the pharaohs after that, they forgot that it was the God of Israel who was the one who set them up to be that power like that by sending Joseph. So they got proud, and like the brother Gabar was just going into, that's how the Lord really gets you. That's the ultimate judgment. If the Lord is going to judge America like with the worst judgment, He got to break their spirit.
Yeah.
Like you read in Isaiah 19, man. The spirit of Egypt shall fell within it, and with breaking their spirit, they got to know that God is against them. That's how we know that the plagues of Egypt is coming back, as it says in 2nd Ezra 15. It's going to be some stuff that people just won't be able to deny. Oh yeah, that God is against America.
Right, and that their gods are not the real ones.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because
Yahweh is against them. Yahawashi144.
And that's why we got to be out here preaching the word, man. Let people know this is all the work of the Lord, man. That's why we can't we're going to be brought before kings Alexander knew that, and the priesthood went out and really Alexander told him, hey, you the rough goat. You know, the Lord set you up, man. You know, so that's how it always was, man. You know, so, you know, the Lord is getting ready to break down the pride of these modern Egyptians, man. You know, these modern Babylonians, man. They're not the ones in control, man. That's right. That's what Pharaoh thought, too. He thought he was in control, man. Because that was part of Pharaoh's role over Egypt. That's what he believed his role was, to make sure that everything was operating well by, you know, his different rituals and, you know what I'm saying, him being a mediator and, you know, and in between, and even kind of like an embodiment of his deities, man. You know what I'm saying? So they would do different rituals and different rites and, you know, ceremonies to this God and to that God to ensure the prosperity of Egypt, man. Okay? So when the Lord sent Moses against him and said, hey, the Lord, Yahweh said, let my people go that they may serve me. Pharaoh was like, what the fuck you mean? Who is Yahweh? Who is Yahweh? Yeah. I'm Pharaoh. I'm you know, pride, you know what I'm saying? That's Jackson. You know what I'm saying?
You know, staff after the snake came up. You probably laughed a little bit.
Yeah, he was. He was like, oh, that's what you do. I'm supposed to do the same thing. And the Lord showed the Lord was doing with Moses. You know? And then the different plagues, plaguing the river, that was basically the lifeline of Egypt. Plaguing the crops. You know what I'm saying? Plaguing the cattle. You know, blocking the, you know, bringing darkness upon Egypt and all of that, man. You know, that really confounded them and broke their spirit, man. You know?
You know, like I said earlier, when we prophesied the downfall, we want this to happen. We want the Lord to torture America like he did ancient Egypt. Yeah. And it's happening.
Right.
It's going to happen on an even greater level.
Right. When you read the book, the Psalms, King David was always like, persecute my enemies. All right. Make them suffer. All right. So yeah, we with it, man. We went with the God of Israel's with. All right. Going against our enemies and breaking them down and taking them out of power. Because look how they ran the earth, man, in wickedness. You got faggots and weirdos. No one will take it down. They're just even saying the word. You know, oh, that's offensive. Hey, the Lord's against that, man. The Lord's against these weirdos and freaks. The Lord's against these different idols that are resurrected here in Babylon and across the world. So, hey, we're looking forward to the Lord breaking down our enemies and confounding their idols, breaking this image, man. All right? The image of the beast. The Lord's going to destroy it with fire.
Yeah.
Got it.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 10. It says, behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with the plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. And that's what you see happening right now. The Lord is smiting America with the plagues that he smite Egypt with. One of them, look at the food. Look what happened in 2020. All those food factories mysteriously catching on fire out of nowhere. Tyson chicken nuggets and things like that. That's the Lord's doing.
Tyson chicken nuggets, yeah.
Yeah.
Jake loved chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
Oh, it's tearing up Tyson.
And it keeps coming out. You know, the place on earth that's struck with the most natural disasters is Babylon. Man.
Yep.
Literally all kinds of disasters you can think about happen here, man. Drought, dust storm, heat wave, wildfires, tornadoes, hurricanes, earthquakes, blizzards, everything, man.
Fucking up every part of Babylon.
You know? Diseases on the crops, diseases on the animals, diseases on people.
Yeah, new diseases.
Yeah,
Flesh-eating black bacteria.
Yeah.
Sexual diseases.
Yeah, new
Yeah, and fucking all types of solar eclipses, lunar eclipses. You know what I'm saying? The trajectory be over America a lot. You know? Hey, man, the Lord ain't fucking with this place, man. Bring it out, brother. Bring out a little more.
2nd Ezra 15 and 12. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it. They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fail through. The blasting and hail with fearful consolation. The Lord is judging America. You can see it with the farmers. The farmers is burning their crops down. Oh, it's the spirit.
Yeah, I was just Googling U.S. farmers suffering, and there's mad articles saying U.S. farmers are suffering due to higher costs of tariffs, the weather, all right? And they're also on suicide watch. They have a suicide hotline. So the farmers are mourning. That's the scriptures speaking right there. It's how people want to know, all right, is the Bible real? Yes. All right? The prophecies are speaking. That confirms that the scriptures are real, man. All right? But you have to be part of the elect to receive it. That's it, man.
Then they get rid of the workers.
Yep.
You know, Northern tribe. They more because their minds fucked up even worse.
Yeah.
Behold, I am against thee. O thou most proud, saith the Lord, power of hosts. For that day is come that I will visit thee, and the most proud shall stumble and fall. None shall rise up, and I will kindle a fire in his cities, and it shall devour all around about him.
Talk about somebody stumbling, right? You know, when you trip over something, you don't know you're gonna trip. This is unexpected. You know, going into someone's plans, you know, somebody being visited, you don't know when a thief is gonna come. You know, a thief just pop up. Unexpected.
Hi guys.
Hey,
Hello.
What's up? What's up?
That's self-explanatory. The most proud is it's okay. The most proud is Esau here, right? The Lord is going to visit him, and he's visiting him now. And these, you know, they different sorcerers. You know, they doing their witchcraft, trying to prolong their empire. When these elites know that this is it, man. It's the final dance. Yeah.
Jake, that's no fear for the
blood.
Yeah.
It's nothing is changing.
This is it. This is the last dance, baby.
woman around.
Sit back and watch
Woman's
the
in
show.
the front. He's in the back with his drink.
Isaiah chapter 13, verse 11. And I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity. And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease. And will lay low the populace of the terrible. And that's what the Lord is doing right now. The Lord is bringing down his pride, man. Okay? The Lord is bringing down the so-called white man, man. Because his agenda, his whole ideal of living right now is to subdue or be like the Most High. Okay?
It makes sense to bring down Babylon, American pride. Because Babylon is the strength of Esau empire.
Yeah.
So if you bring down the strength, destroy the strength, there's no more.
Exactly.
Well, if I'm add too, that's why Elon Musk and Trump they go into that division because he said himself, right, Samal? He said that America is the Roman Empire once again, and Rome's divided themselves, and they got one down. So you know, this is America. You know, Babylon is falling on again.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the Roman history, you know, one of the key reasons there was civil unrest in Rome is due to famine, lack of food.
Yeah.
All right, and you had politicians back then, you know, choosing sides and going to war against each other. It was actual civil war. You can Google that. There's nothing new under the sun. Because these are the Romans in reincarnation. You know, these are the same people. They're doing it. That's how you know this. To our people, you're insane to follow this man. He's doing the same shit he was doing while he was proclaiming to be the Romans. America came up like Rome, is going down like Rome.
Exactly.
This is Rome's gonna fall. You know, you got it.
Obadiah 1 and 3. It says, the God of thine heart hath deceived thee. The God that dwelleth in the cleft of the rock, whose habitation is high, hath said in his heart, who shall bring thee down to the ground? Though thou exalt thyself as an eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, said the Lord. Right, now we're seeing this being played out right now to speak to his economics, all right, to his relationships that he has with different nations. All those things are being broken down.
Yeah. The whole stock exchange goes back
Isaiah
to Rome.
14, start at 12.
Same shit.
Art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning, art thou come down to the ground, which didn't speak in the nations. That's how Esau, you know, fallen from the Right? It says, for thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven, and I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High. And I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. So your mindset is, I will continue to oppress the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans here in America. Right? We represent the stars of the Most High. Right? It says, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will meet like the Most High.
Right? That's where we got Starlink and shit, Space Force. You know what I'm saying? They really trying to diddle off the earth from outer space, man. Which is a cunning plan. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's cunning as fuck, honestly.
You know you have shots coming, right?
You know what I'm saying? That's real cunning. Yeah, they're basically trying to keep, keep Yahawashi out of the earth. You know what I'm saying?
It's not gonna happen.
It's not going to happen. That's why I should say they imagine the main thing, man. You know, the serpent is really trying to keep Adam out of his garden.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like, this is his. You know what I'm saying?
He's not getting tricked again. Nah, ain't happening. You gotta overpay. So we coming back to beat your ass this time, bro.
It's gold. What they talking about building this dome, the golden dome?
That shit is no joke, bro.
The golden dome.
They just come out of shit out of the ass, really, with that one. They already said that old Golden Dome, real quickly, all right, it's unrealistic because one, it's going to take years to build, and two, the amount of money. And right now, Trump and Elon are arguing over the debt. Elon's like, stop spending money. Trump's like, no, this one big, beautiful bill is going to help out. No, it's not. It's going to put the country more in debt, all right? And putting these people on the ass because, yo, somebody's got to pay for this debt. And that's why, hey, this place is going to turn out in violence, man. They'll say it's well, yeah, that was threatening. He was like, I'll cut your subsidy. But that goes to show you, all these corporations, all right, are just not making it on their own. The taxpayers, all right, are helping out these corporations. It's called subsidy. It's a fucking wicked word. You should look it up. All right? It's one of those dirty words. All right, just like escrow, which is a nice way of saying we're going to raise your mortgage, all right, because of property taxes. The point is, though, is that, all right, Elon Musk is mad that Trump is going to take away his subsidy. That was a threat. So then Elon Musk then dropped the dime on him and said, well, you, all right, we're over there fucking around with Jeffrey Epstein at the island. All right, just dropping the dime on his ass. But it goes to show you, they're arguing over what? The economy. Because they see it. They see this place done. Esau, what's his God? Money.
Right.
That's really what his money is.
Right.
So when he sees his money, all right, he's getting light on his pockets. Not like, nah, we got to trim the fat. No, you got to stop spending. No, we need to spend. All right? House divided cannot stand.
See, that would ruffle their feathers. Yeah. Elon Musk, if you knew that this man was on the list, then why would you stand next to this man?
Yeah.
Why would y'all be fucking booty partners this whole fucking time? And now, since it's some shit for money, now you want to out the man.
Yeah. Message.
You know? It goes to show you how corrupt these people are, man. And that's why this shit is going down. And look at you stupid ass Americans. They talk about the Golden Dome, this and that. That should tell you stupid ass Americans that they know that a war is about to be fought with nuclear missiles, man.
Facts.
You know? See, they done trained y'all people and whatever they got with these apps and phones to make you people stop fucking thinking, man. God damn.
Right. Nothing too. Bro, the Starlink, bro.
Yeah, right.
They're gonna be able to observe your ass from outer space.
Yeah.
They basically they're gonna literally lock down the planet Earth by using satellite surveillance. That's crazy. And motherfuckers just walking around like, bro, are you serious? Bro?
That's what you people subscribe to. You just allowing these people to just control your whole lives.
Right.
On Social Security through Doji, now they have access to everyone's Social Security records, man. So know everything about you. You know? I mean, you nothing now. You people are just nothing. That's why it's getting to the point where they're going to be confident in pushing out a chip because they know y'all stupid ass going to take it, man.
Yeah, of course.
They with it.
That's I would say that's Esau crafting this, man. The way Elon came out with that Starlink, he said, I want to have everybody connected through the web and everybody get in touch with each other. But that's what we see through spirit. That's for the MTV, man. Yeah. Okay, that was not for it to connect, do something good for people.
And with that Starlink, I have seen a whistleblower a video on YouTube. Basically, even if you're in the desert or if you're in a rural area, you'll still have connection.
Yeah, you still have
They'll
connection.
find you.
They're testing it out. That's why there was an uproar down in South America because Elon Musk was pushing Starlink to all those tribes that are in the rainforest, and they had them looking at porno. They were looking at fucking nude. That's the devil, man. All right? They fucked their head up.
It was not.
Yeah.
Interactive.
Yeah. It changed dramatically. That's why the scriptures call him the border witness. Everywhere this man goes, he puts that filthy garbage. Okay? That's why this man has got to be taken out. You assholes on the sign for the hard people. The boat you want this devil to rule over you, man. You gotta get lit up, man. Like a Christmas tree.
Hey, you know, and that Starlink shit, you know, that basically makes his system impossible to take down.
Right.
Because if it's just based off of power lines and poles, you know, you can get that shit down.
Right.
But if it's from fucking outer space, you can't do nothing.
Right. And that's why, you know, sometimes we're like, yo, is that a chariot? Is that a UFO? You know, especially down in Florida, it's really Elon Musk and various other corporations down here in Florida mainly, launching satellites into the sky, man.
Yeah, we've seen it.
Hundreds and hundreds, and we see it all the
We
time.
see it, yeah.
Because they're getting ready for this MOTP, man.
Right. Again, you
Yep.
people, I want to celebrate. Y'all want to celebrate fucking 4th of July.
Yeah.
Memorial Day weekend.
My people are assholes sometimes.
Juneteenth. You know, you hear all this wickedness going on right in front of y'all face, man.
Just ask AI how many satellites are in orbit. It's at approximately 9,000.
That's crazy.
9,000, right?
That's why I was gonna say, Satan and his angels, man. He trying to be. It says, the scripture says he's trying to be like the Most High.
Right.
The Lord got eyes everywhere. You want to have eyes everywhere too, man. He even want to have the surveillance underneath your skin, nigga.
Noah Harari. Noah Harari.
Planet
That
is
fucking
gonna
weirdo.
get,
I want him as a slave.
Yeah.
it's gonna get real tight here.
You know, they want to inject nanites into your blood, to, you know what I'm saying, to help monitor your vitals and shit. You know, to help clear clogged arteries and shit like that.
Sweet chip. Oh, man. I want a sweet chip. These people's heads, so I don't think that.
No, man. This is tyranny, nigga.
That show dealing with the New World Order. Right here? Remember the dude is like, if you test this, we'll give you this money. And he got tested and he died the next day. Oh, that was the video you put in the check out? With the dude who was in the house and he was mad. He threw the rock at the drone.
Oh, that,
Yeah, I remember. So fool took that medicine and died, and dropped the same day. And they came to
Yeah.
The dude in the crossing the way died.
Yeah.
So that's the same shit. You're gonna be taking all these things and just drop dead.
Yep.
Psalm 91, point in verse 3. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say, the Lord is my refuge and my fortress, my power, in him will I trust. Point surely he shall deliver me from the snare of the fowler and from the noise pestilence. I'm reading NLT. For he will rescue you from every trap and protect you from deadly diseases.
Well, like we were saying earlier about those satellites in the sky, well, what is that all going to lead to? Right? That's going to lead to the believers being put in certain predicaments where we're going to, there's nothing we can do. We're going to lean on our powers, right? You know, the things that are written, we're going to have to actually believe these things, right? And act on them. Yeah, because, you know, we can't battle against Esau and his technology, man. You know, he knows where everybody is and shit, you know, it's a prison planet. Yeah.
You know, that's really deep because brother talking about the nanoparticle. Like you can't see it, you can't see that. The Lord got to keep with you to protect you from certain things. Because once you keep going to bloodstream, all types of things, organs, you can't do nothing about that. That's like, power, right? So I feel push on a whole level, bro. But man, you get ready to see some shit, man. It's all, man. Brothers gotta, hey man, we gotta really hold it on faith, man. That's right. Not, you know, stop thinking this is a joke or, you know what I'm saying? Now you gotta really envision this shit, man. You know? They are doing all this fake shit, AI shit. Brothers been saying that for years. Going back before this whole AI animation shit, everybody doing now. Brothers been saying deep fake, man. Brothers been saying that, man. Brothers been saying they're gonna use surveillance to fucking lock the cities down and deem somebody a terrorist. This is a long time ago. Brother said this fucking 10 years ago, man.
Yeah.
The brother said this 10 years ago, man. And now it's happening, man. Okay? And so, hey, that's getting ready to come, man. But the Lord gonna show his power, man. The Lord gonna show his power, man. You know, I think about it how, you know, they're gonna have fucking our faces on the news and shit, and all types of deep fake technology and shit. And they're gonna, you know, they could have bounties out on us, man.
Yeah.
Because back in ancient times, 2,000 years ago, they had bounties out on the believers in Yahawashi, man. And Paul was a mercenary, basically, in a way. You know, he was fucking hitman to find those who believe in Yahawashi, man. You know, so imagine some situation like that happen. And the Lord give brother spiritual power the same way he did Yahawashi to disguise himself. Yahawashi used to disguise himself. He had the crowd, nobody know he there. You know, appeared to his disciples start talking to him. Like, hey, what's going on? You know, y'all all understand what's going on. And like, man, you don't know what just happened. You know? And then he was like, no, tell me about it. And he was giving him the breakdown of everything.
then he disappeared.
Yeah.
You know, then we can recognize that that's him.
Yeah.
Hey, it be like that, man. The Lord could give brothers that power to disguise our visage, man. You know? It can go down, man.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 59, verse 19. It says, so shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and the glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him.
Right. So the Lord's going to lift up that standard, man. You know, the enemy shall come in like a flood, man. They shall come in like a flood. They should say there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord, man. So in order for it to be possible, that means they're going to have this whole shit really locked down. You know what I'm saying? But the Lord going to confound that bullshit, man. You know? The Lord going to confound that bullshit and lift up a standard. Brothers might end up disappearing, teleporting. You know what I'm saying? An angel could come, swoop in. You know, we about to have some real up close and personal encounters with angels and the chariots, you know, miracles, spiritual power, all type of stuff, man. You know? Right. Yeah.
They say Michael's dark angel got
Yeah.
deliver us.
Yeah.
You know, like God said, man, we gotta really we read it over and like, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You know? Because you know, we're about to get persecuted for what we believe in.
Right.
You know, because in this new system, if you don't worship Satan, you're gonna be persecuted.
Right, exactly.
With the
Yeah.
enemy.
Yeah, Esau getting ready to really show his horns, man. Show what he really about, man. You know? He ain't no fucking lie, ain't gonna be no fucking trick and nah, man. Look, the really getting ready to pull the mask off, bro.
Precept.
Fucking mask off.
Anyway, how the fuck we gonna hide anyway when it's 9,000 satellites in the goddamn sky?
Yup.
You don't need the power of the Lord.
The Lord got it set up this way, so the only choice we're gonna have is to call upon Him.
Yeah.
Ain't gonna be no you gonna get in a tangle. Ain't gonna be none of that.
Nah, ain't gonna be no goddamn goddamn it. You know, you gonna be able to fucking Clark Kent.
Yeah, that ain't gonna be enough.
You gonna be able to get in your car. Nah, nigga.
No.
You have to have the chip.
Yup.
Ain't gonna be none
Especially
of
with
that,
that
man.
facial recognition, man.
Ain't gonna be nowhere
Yep.
nowhere to hide.
Know what happened?
Yeah, you got that thermal,
Yep.
you can see where you at, all that type of shit.
Nano drones.
I got a precept.
We need divine intervention, man.
Because, hey, like you said, there'll be nowhere to hide. That's why in Revelation chapter 12, verse 12, it says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. And the angels will be rejoicing. We're going to be rejoicing. Because we know what this is all about. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. So that's everybody. Everybody. Not no just this country or that country. Everybody, lottie-dottie, that's walking on planet Earth.
Yeah.
Okay?
Even the fishes, hey.
Yeah.
They said, whoa, hey, coral reef, hey, look out, bro.
Right?
This
Yup.
nigga here, he come with that bullshit, yo. Hey, Nemo. Hey,
Hey, boy, we got to tighten up. We got to find us a rock, boy.
this nigga here, he coming with the smoke, man. Go ahead, bro.
For the devil, and the devil, all right, the devil, okay,
The devil.
all right, are these Edomites, these so-called white people, okay?
Right.
Starting with the elites, what they call the Illuminati, right? For the devil has come down onto you, having great wrath. Great wrath. Not just wrath, it's great wrath.
Yeah.
Because he knoweth that he have but a short time. So, and like the beloved brothers and elders have been saying, it's like, yo, there's no escaping, man. Okay, on a carnal level. This devil's coming down with great wrath. All right, he's got the technology, he's got the money. Okay, these military troops, they're going to be all with it. So we're going to need Yahawashi to lift up that standard. Okay, and when you go into that word standard, and Ramak, correct me if I'm wrong, okay, it's either flight, or fight. Okay,
Yeah, put the flight.
put to flight,
Fly to attack on
fly to
horseback.
attack on horseback. Yup.
Yeah.
So there you go. So, and it's going to be the Lord that's going to do this for His elect.
Yeah.
All right, because of how this devil's coming in. I
Right.
just want to establish that.
Right,
you know?
so the decision is going to be made. Do you want to serve the Lord? Okay, even if that means that you have to lose your life and freedom to do so. Like, you know, like the Elder Makama says, you know, even to death, be imprisoned, potentially tortured and mistreated, okay, and ostracized and hunted down. Or do you want to live under tyranny for the rest of your fucking life and be destroyed by a nuclear missile fire, man?
And the rest of life will be a couple days.
Yeah, probably a couple days.
No, because if you take that trip, Revelation 16.
Or maybe you got to go fight war.
Yep.
Hey, that's the thing, motherfuckers, man. Hey, you motherfuckers get ready to take the trip and still starve to death. So that's a decision that a lot of people gonna have to make, man.
Right.
Do you want to live for the Lord, even if that means that you gotta die for righteousness' sake, you're gonna be risen up again, or do you want to live under tyranny? Because that's what this really is tyranny.
I mean, the brothers just
Still die. We're gonna still take tyranny and still die.
Yeah, exactly.
We're going to get
So why
boiled
not
with
die
that trip.
for righteousness?
Exactly.
the brothers just read Revelation 12. It says, "Whoa."
Yeah.
This means death and destruction to you. If you don't serve the Lord, you're gonna die. Like soon, because the Lord gonna make the time short.
Yeah, he gonna
There's gonna be no flesh to be saved.
Yeah.
So people gonna fall for the okie doke, and they gonna be had in derision because America is about to blow up.
Yeah.
You know, you ain't gonna have no rest of your life in Babylon the way you think and live on and shit. No, once shit hit the fan like that, the comfort that we have is, oh yeah, the Lord's coming now.
Yeah.
Once the chip is being pushed, you talking about we in a matter of months right now. So once the chip is pushed, it'll be a matter of weeks.
Yeah, they say it's short
Or days.
time. They say the Lord gonna speed up the times. You know, and shit, some shit could pop off, man. I'm telling you, man. The scripture say, as a snare shall it come upon all them that dwell upon the face of the earth.
Hey,
Bro, if Esau shut this grid down and blame the solar flare or some shit,
Oh boy, terrorists.
or blame terrorists, or blame a cyber attack, or China, or EMP, or whatever,
Yep.
Terrorists coming out of Africa, right?
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
That was wild.
They said the next the next pandemic gonna be a cyber pandemic.
Yep.
They said
Something like that.
Chinese
gonna
over
make-
here
it's
came
gonna
over here
move
with some
things.
pathogens.
Yes,
Yeah.
Chinese what it was, the researchers worked at Michigan
Yeah.
State.
Yep.
They got caught with a fungus that they was cooking up in the lab.
Right.
Cooking.
You know, so things can move fast. Things can move really, really fucking fast, man. And the scriptures say that they're gonna dwell in torments, man.
Yep.
So just because you take the mark of the beast, man, hey, you still gonna starve. They're gonna be rationing out food to you.
Right.
It ain't really gonna even be food.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna be able to go
Beyond
certain
meat.
places. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be only be able to go so far. You're gonna be locked up in your house. If you gotta go fucking go to a factory and go work to get extra tokens, you can do that. They can just shut that shit off on your ass.
Right.
Noise some sores.
Noise
Noise
sores
some
from the chip.
sores.
From the chip.
You
Looking
know,
like the
oh
zombie.
you want to keep your chip activated? Or what is a new disease out there? You gotta get vaccinated. And then here it is, the vaccine kill your ass.
There's gonna be people who have the chip that's gonna be begging for death.
Yeah.
So brothers, that's why when death is placed before you, you're supposed to look at that as salvation.
Exactly.
'Cause, like once it gets to that point like that, we here. You ain't once we get persecuted like that and they coming up against us. All right, ain't no going back to work. Ain't no paying no
That shit is
bills.
done.
America is done once it gets to that
That
fucking
shit is
point.
done. Absolutely.
You know, and we know what death means and all of that, and we understand the scriptures when none of the Lord's chosen shall perish. You're gonna be alive and well in a couple hours.
It's the mindset. Just get to the finish line.
That's
Right.
it.
And we already there. Just keep walking.
Yeah.
That's right. I appreciate that.
And the king,
That's what Yahawashi said, they that believe in me shall never die. You know, but they didn't understand what he meant by that. It's through the spirit, man. Death is you just sleeping.
This is a rest.
Yeah.
All right. Them that died, then Mashiach be the first ones risen up.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? This is just, why not? You know what I'm saying? When you was young, you just wanted to die for you. Why not die for righteousness?
Yep. And
Why
that's
not,
your
hey
lot.
Lord, you know, I'm making it up to you for all the wrongs I did, you know?
Right, right. And that's the lot. If that's the lot the Lord gave you, and there be certain brothers and sisters that'll just get beamed up, not one scratch on their head.
Right.
Just toiling. All right. There'll be two in the field. One will be taken. One will be left. Two women grinding at the mill. One will be taken. One will be left. That's from Big Brother Yahawashi. You know. So hey, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for great things, greatness from our power. Okay, because we believe, man. That's faith, man. You gotta believe. Only believe. You got it.
Second Ezra chapter 16 and verse 68. It said, "For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you. They shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols." He says, "And they shall," it says, "and they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach, trodden under foot. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord."
It says every what?
It says, for there shall be in every place.
Every place, nowhere to go.
Nowhere to go.
Ain't gonna be nowhere to go. We know where to hide.
And in the next cities, a great insurrection from those that fear the Lord.
So they're gonna come after us.
And they shall be like mad men, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. They shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire.
Just to live there or keep your house, to keep your money, or in that time, your tokens, your coins, you're going to have the chip.
Yep.
I always say they should cast them out of their house. Right? So for that landlord to give you a lease, you're going to have the chip.
Yeah. Well, ain't gonna be no physical cash.
Yeah.
You know, you're gonna have the tokens, credit, however they gonna do it.
Nope.
Life as you know it is going to be changed. So for the believers out there, those that are listening, that's including you too. That's not just the men of the Lord that's preaching. No, that's if you believe in Yahawashi144, that's talking about you too.
What tribulation shall you get to the kingdom of heaven? It's everyone. That's the father that believe, that's the mother that believe, or the wife, even the children. All right, everybody knows the testimony. That's right.
A little bit more. 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 74. Hear, O ye, my beloved, said the Lord. Behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same.
Right talk. Getting us ready. Getting our minds ready. You know? Because before Israel went to war, you would have the priests speak to the people. And anybody that was scared or nervous, you know, they would tell them, you got to go home. You know? Well, it ain't going to be nowhere to go. So we got to get our minds, our spirits right.
Yeah.
Because really the battle is in your mind, because physically, it's not a physical fight. This is not going to be a physical fight. This is about mental fortitude. This battle is going to be won through the spirit.
Yeah.
You got it, brother.
It says, verse 75, be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for Yahweh is your guide, and the guide of them who keep my commandments and precepts, said the Lord power. Let not your sins weigh you down, and let not your iniquities lift up themselves. Got it.
That's right. That's the times that we're living in. Like Bishop Moore was saying, it could go down. A blackout, boom.
Your whole life changed. You know what I'm saying? We used to just opening the door, calling on the lights.
Yep.
At the time, the lights gonna come on.
Lights.
Or you turn on the faucet, no water come out. No running water, the toilet. You know?
Oh, that's beautiful you said that. So I came across a recent article from The Wire, and you had FEMA openly saying that if there was a cyber attack that did affect, the electricity grid, the first thing that goes out is water and the sewage system.
Right.
That's the first thing that goes out. Water and the sewage system.
They all connected.
They're all connected.
They all connected.
All right?
That's spiritual, because I did a lesson on that this week, because the power went off at my job. We were like 3.5 hours in, and the power went up. They sent over the first shift. And nothing was working. Like the badge to get through the door, the computer for you to sign and break, whatever, nothing was working. The break got on me to do a lesson,
Right.
Lights out, blackout. What you gonna do when everything goes dark? That's definitely coming. It happened before, it's gonna happen again. It happened in ancient Egypt. You know? No new thing under the sun. Anything happen to the grid, like the brother says, they're all connected.
Yeah. I remember in 2003 when the whole East Coast went into a blackout. All right? Hey, it was mad chaos, man. The traffic lights weren't working. All right? The grocery stores, how can you do transactions? Remember, people were there was credit cards in 2003. People were using them. All right? That's when debit was being, pushed into the populace. Yeah, there was mass confusion. So how much more now? All right, you saw what happened in Spain, France, Portugal. Hey, ATM machines were not working. Train systems were put to a halt. Okay? And people were panicking. And that's why it's beautiful the beloved brother brought that out, because hey, like you said, it's a mindset. Okay? When that shit happens, what are you gonna do? For example, we got stuck in the elevator.
Yeah.
We were calm and cool about it.
Just talking to the Lord.
Just talking to the Lord. Hey, you know,
I know you got it.
we gave it to His hand.
Yeah.
Because what are you gonna do?
What we gonna do?
Physically.
We can't, you can't punch the elevator
Elevator,
door.
right?
You know?
Hey, Scripture said that it is the spirit that quickeneth.
Right.
The flesh profited nothing.
Right.
You know? The words that speak unto you that spirit that life. You got to move by the spirit, by way of the spirit, man. Because if you go off of the flesh, you're gonna that's carnal movement. It's not gonna work all right for you. You know, if you move carnally, it's not gonna work all right. So you gotta move by the spirit. If you move carnally, that time you're gonna die. Right. Because you're gonna make dumb decisions, unrational decisions. All right, if you're hungry, what's the first thing you're gonna do? Is run to the supermarket.
Get lit up by martial law troops.
That's what I'm saying.
That's where you gonna stay there.
Or a marauder.
You got to know I'm falling on his knees. Yahawashi144 have mercy upon me. Guide me when you tell me to move. Yeah, because that's the balance point. It's a mental thing. It's a mental fortitude, which is a future prophecy. Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time, the strength of thy salvation. The fear of the Lord of his church. At that time, you have to move by the Spirit of the Lord. If as long as we are those men, the Lord is going to guide us.
Exactly.
Our word is Spirit.
That's why I say, then it shall be known.
Right.
So, some brothers are going to know they're part of that. You know, not fully, but some of them, you know, you going to be, oh,
Yeah,
Lord,
bring that.
deliver me from this and that and this and that.
Bro, got a good scripture,
You know?
right here, right here.
This is Sirach 2 and verse 2. It says, set thy heart aright, and constantly endure, and make thine haste in the time of trouble.
So,
Yeah.
decision. You got to be patient. You know? Okay, we're going to have to wait for instructions.
Right, that's why the prophecy should be in your mind continually. All right, we know this devil's going to do a blackout, to do a great reset. Now, how long that's going to last? Hey, we got to trust in the Lord, you know?
Yep.
Because again, we know, say they do a blackout now. All right, they got to turn it back on because we need the RFID chip to be working. Okay? Now they do a blackout after the chip. Then we in some interesting times, man. You feel what I'm saying? That's why the prophecy stay in your mind. Okay? Oh, they do a blackout? So what? We still ain't out here yet. Where's the chip at?
Exactly.
All right? It's a mindset, man. All right? Now, when they push that chip, that's when it's like all bets are off. All right? Where's the destruction? Okay? And where's the mass casualties? Because a lot of people are going to die when that chip is made mandatory, man. You got it.
Yeah. Go ahead, I got it.
Second Ezra 16 and 40. It says, O my people, hear my word, be ready to thy battle. And he knows evil, even as number on the earth.
Right? When it says be ready to the battle, is it a physical battle? No. It's going to be physical for Esau, but for us it's not. Because we physically can't fight the so-called white man. The words. Exactly.
That's why his name is Yahawashi. He delivered.
That's right. He's going to get the glory and the praise for saving his people. That's right. As that's what the Most High gave that glory to his son. So we're going to sit. We're going to have to wait for our Savior to save us. Right. That's literally his name.
And word, every time I see a worm, pick him up and put him in the dirt. That's that word.
That's right.
The Lord is going to deliver us. Nothing you're going to be able to do. You ain't able to fight against this man's technology.
No way.
We used to call it, we talk about a microwave gun.
Yeah.
You fight against a microwave gun.
Bro, look at now it's technology. The drone strikes that, you know, that whole situation Russia and Ukraine. Them Russians were lit up by them fucking drones. It came out of nowhere. So imagine you jakes, all right? You jakes are fucking worms, like you said. Worms.
Those who sent them drones,
Yeah.
they are looking for meat. They got you, they put in the program, this is like
Yeah.
They got your business.
Facial recognition
Facial
drones.
recognition.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
That's the book of Luke.
Trust in the Lord, man.
It says that you shall be healed of all men for my name's sake, but there shall not one hair or not a hair of your head perish, and your patience possess your souls.
Yeah.
And that's why I said we need to have that. Even when we see the enemy coming, we still gotta be able to say like Brother
Right.
said, pause, get down on your knees, put your hands up, pray to him.
And
Next thing you know,
why I just give it to the Lord, man. Whatever situation you're in, do not move in haste. Pray to the Lord, trust in the Lord, and He's gonna, set the situation perfect for you to endure to the end. Okay? And those that die in the truth, you already know, you're the first ones with risen. The dead shall rise first. Okay? But the water for bringing that out, because that's the balance of the Lord. It's a perfect balance, man. That's right. Okay, it's not, all of us are just going to drop dead, for not taking that chip. Nah.
Well, who's the Lord going to save then?
Right.
He has to have somebody to save.
He has to have people alive. You know?
Because when you mentioned that, some of us are going to be put to rest.
Yeah.
Right? Even though if I'm being put to rest, me being faithful, all right, another elect member that's not, he's going to be faithful because he's seen me be faithful.
Right.
Just as what came to my mind is the 7 brothers.
Right.
It's not if you their faith, right? Even though it's being persecuted, if you their faith. So imagine I'm being put to death. Like, have this man when he did to him, and he's being saved.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I got a quick precept about the point. You know, some brothers are going to be persecuted to the point of death, but not all brothers are going to die. Matthew chapter 16 and verse 28, it says, "Verily I say unto you, there be some standing here which shall not taste death until they see the Son of Man coming in His kingdom."
There you go.
So, that was a hard saying for them. They didn't understand what he was talking about. Because to them, what do you mean? Well, what do you mean nobody's going to die? Some's not going to die. Well, that's for us right now. That's for this generation. Right? And there are going to be some brothers and sisters, they ain't going to have a scratch on their head.
Nope. Eating good. It says, what is it? And the Apocrypha, okay, the heathen shall envy thee.
Yeah.
A brother can find that. We'll have an abundance on this side.
That's right.
Isaiah 4:1.
That's right.
So that's why I just trust in the Lord. Trust the process, man.
That's right.
Trust the process. Because the Lord has our story set out, all right, for His glory, for His praise, for His testimony. Yeah. You got it. Bring it
This is the
out.
book of 2nd Ezra chapter 2 verse 27. It says, "Be not weary, for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh."
Right, the day of trouble and heaviness is coming. And that's what we've been saying to our people. A day of trouble and heaviness is coming. All right? We gave you a whole bunch of scenarios that is going to happen, like a blackout, martial law troops, all right, FEMA camps, all right, persecution. That's what the scriptures say, man. Okay? So we already know evil and trouble is coming.
And be sorrowful. Bible let's start by 25. 25? Yeah, we got it. 2nd Ezra 2 and 25, it says, "Nourish thy children, O thou good nurse, establish their feet. As for the servants whom I have given thee, there shall not one of them perish."
Whoa! As the servants who I'm giving thee, not one of them shall perish, man. See, that's the balance of the Lord, man.
Right.
Okay? Not everybody is going to be getting guillotined.
Exactly.
Okay? Not everybody's going to be, out there, okay? What's it called? Having a drone chasing them around.
Exactly.
What about men with spiritual powers? Dragon Ball Z type powers. So, keep going.
2nd Ezra 2 and 26. "As for thy servants whom I have given thee, there shall not one of them perish, for I will require them from among thy number."
I will require them from among thy number. That's the elect. Okay? So the Lord is going to protect His elect out of the nation of Israel. That's the key. You got to be an Israelite in order to be saved.
Verse 27, "Be not weary, for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, others shall weep and be sorrowful, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance."
Others shall weep and be sorrowful, but thou, meaning the elect, shall be merry, meaning up in the spirit, laughing, giggling, okay? Praising Yahawashi144. All right? Exactly. And having abundance. All these damn preppers and all these fucking mansions.
Yeah.
All right? We've been talking about, especially us down here in South Florida. That's for the elect. We just gonna be chilling there while these people, eat each other and become a zombie to each other. You know what I'm saying? That's the faith that, all right, we believe the Lord is going to do that for us as long as we continue our course in His truth. That's it, man. All right, this shit. Fuck this place, man. We know that. All right.
And you go to the scriptures to see that it took place.
Right.
While Egypt was getting fucked up.
Right.
In the Atlantic Ocean.
Right.
All
Exactly.
Right? And now again, just see, our people seeing the plagues, and the plagues not here now.
And what happened? Not only did the Lord lead us out of Egypt, we took their shit.
Yeah.
Give me your shit. You know, all the gold,
earrings,
everything,
jewelry.
cattle, jewelry, everything. So come on, man. Marry and have abundance, man.
right.
On this side. So there's the balance, man. Okay.
Verse 28, the heathen shall envy thee, but they shall be able to do nothing against thee.
Right. The heathen. Okay. These damn Edomites and Moabites and Elamites, Ishmaelites, they're gonna envy us, meaning be jealous of us, because we gonna be cheering the Lord. We gonna be glowing. You know what I'm saying?
They're gonna be malnourished while you full.
Right. You fool. Like damn,
Yeah.
he's not starving like I'm starving. I just ate my son.
Yeah.
I just ate my daughter.
He's walking with his still.
And he's walking with his children, with all his wives, just laughing and giggling.
Laughing.
Okay?
While society's still going on.
Right.
Okay.
You know? Because that's the thing. Big brother Yahawashi, we can get that. Two will be in the field, one will be taken, one will be left. When you go into that word field, meaning there'll still be some form of employment. Okay? Same thing with women. Marrying everybody. Okay, again, this on this side, because don't the women have to, the women say, what? We eat our own bread. And automatic, right after that, it's the salvation. That's Isaiah 4:1. Perfect balance, man. You got it.
Once again, 2 Ezra 2:28, the heathen shall envy thee, but they shall be able to do nothing against thee, saith the Lord. My hand shall cover thee, so that thy children shall not see hell.
Who are the Lord's hands? The angels. Okay? The angels are constantly protecting us. They've been protecting us up to this point. And Lord willing, they continue as long as we serve in the Lord in truth. And we're not changing up the doctrine in the last day. That's why you pseudo-Hebrew Israelites have been changing the doctrine up in the very seconds of this thing. The Lord is going to allow your ass to be put to death in a horrible way. The angels will not be protecting you. He's not going to cover you, man. How you say eternal damnation, flame, fire, hell? Well, clearly that's not okay what the scripture's talking about. All right? All you got to do is go to the book of Jude. That's a military. The person will have to go to it. It says Sodom and Gomorrah was suffering for the vengeance of eternal fire by the Lord, man. Is Sodom and Gomorrah burning forever? No. It's a mind. It's in the mind that you know that that place was cooked by the Lord. As a testimony not to go against the Lord, not to be wicked. Okay? Read that part one more time.
2 Ezra 2:29, it says, my hand shall cover thee, so that thy children shall not see hell.
Right. Thy children shall not see hell, the grave. The grave, the pit, man. Children. So if you got children, you ain't serving the Lord, man. That's that. You set them up for failure. You're a piece of shit. You don't love the Lord. You don't love your children. Right. You a piece of shit. You got children. You ain't serving the Lord. Okay. You got more on that?
Now that was it on that.
Kyle, you brothers got it. You brothers got it. You got it.
Job 5, brother wanted it. Job 5 and 19. He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles. 6 troubles is Jacob's trouble. But all hell is breaking loose. Yeah, in 7, 7 is when the intercontinental missiles are about to shoot, are about to hit their destination. The elect is going to be with what? Right, beamed up into the church when you throw UFO. Alright? Yeah, in 7, there shall no evil touch thee. In famine, he shall redeem thee from death. And war from the power of the sword. Alright, so we're going to be protected. We're going to have an edge over it. Alright?
That'll make the Lord a liar. If all the elect just get obliterated. That'll make him a liar. That's saying that he's not bound to his word. All right? You're saying, okay, if you don't have that, if you don't believe in those scriptures, you're saying the Lord is a liar, bro. That's why all y'all that don't want to serve the Lord, you're saying the Lord is a liar. You don't believe that he would protect you and take care of you when all hell breaks loose.
You don't believe he exists?
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, exactly.
Well, there's a glory in saving something.
Mm-hmm.
So the Lord want to get his glory. He want to make his name famous in the earth again. And that's going to happen.
Number 1, thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue. You shall not be afraid of destruction.
when it cometh. All right, why are we not going to be afraid? Because the Lord's going to be with us, and we understand that it's Yahawashi144. See, we read the scripture, we know who it's coming from.
Yep.
All right, you know that he's the one that's bringing judgment. And while he's delivering you, protecting you, you ain't going to be scared of it because you don't know that Yahawashi144 is with you. All right? 22, at destruction and famine, thou shalt laugh. Neither shall thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth. You're not even going to be afraid of the Leviathan, the Heman, all newly created creatures, man. Lions. Right? Lions will be, hey, you can tell a lion in Hebrew, go attack that nigga over there.
Yep. Hey, weren't we laughing when that pandemic?
Yeah, we was laughing, bro. We was merry.
We were merry. We were rejoicing.
Remember that first week? When we shut down?
Yep.
We was coming to Bayside. We coming out the parking lot, rejoicing and jumping up. We seen this shit empty.
Yep.
Empty, giving all praise to the Most High. Yes, this shit, we thought it was over.
We thought it was. Lord was just giving us a little taste, like, not yet.
Right.
Where's that chip? Where's that chip? But yeah, man. But that's the spirit we win. That's the spirit you want to be in. All right, and praising the Lord because we know this is His doing. All right, He's bound to His word. Once again, this is all prophecy.
All right. 23. But thou shalt be in league with the stones of the field, and the beasts of the field shall be at peace with thee. All right? Nobody will come by, they keep going. You know? 24. And thou shalt know that thy tabernacle shall be in peace. We're going to know that the Lord is with you.
Exactly.
That's a visit thy habitation and shall not sin.
That's right. So some brothers, they're going to know they're part of the elect before they get beamed up.
Yep.
They're going to know. You know, and that's what the Lord said, then it shall be known who are my chosen. Because the Lord, He's going to show out.
Real quick, this is the book of Isaiah, the 65, verse 13. It says, therefore thus says the Lord, Yahweh, behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. You know, the brother was just saying, there's going to be indicators that let you know that you're part of the elect. If you see all hell breaking loose, and you're able to be eating and drinking and rejoicing, you know, that's a key indicator that the Lord is with you. That's a key indicator that the Lord is dealing with you. Because everybody else is catching hell. You're going to see bodies on the floor, this, that, and the third. But you're well nourished. You're happy. You're laughing.
Yep.
See, nigga, if you put the death call on like Yahawashi144, they start laughing.
Well, that's going to make women attract to you.
Yeah.
You know, women are going to run to you.
That wisdom will make you shine.
Yeah.
I see a glow on you. What was that, damn, what his name? He started glowing. The karate guy.
Bruce Leroy.
Bruce Leroy.
Got that glow.
That's
That's a classic. That feel the fight that got that glow.
That's how the Lord got that glow. Isaiah 65:14. Behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart.
Yep.
But ye shall cry for sorrow of heart and shall howl for vexation of spirit. So for you to be able to sing of joy in the times that's coming, the times of judgment, the times of destruction, the times where people's being put to death, you know, that right there, you just gotta, hey,
and we know it's all most of us know. Shema Yasharala Yahweh Allahayanawa Yahweh Akad. That's what we gonna be singing, man. That's one of the main songs we'll be singing.
That's right.
Yup.
Hey, real quick, I wanted to bring up the definition of the word plague. It says plague in the biblical or religious context, a divine punishment or catastrophic event sent by the Most High, Yahweh, such as 10 plagues in the book of Exodus, right? And I want to bring up this book, 2 Exodus 15 and 5. It says, behold, saith the Lord, Yahawashi144, I will bring plagues upon the world, sword, famine, death, and destruction. So wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and the whole earth will work off the field. This is the time that we're in now, where wickedness has far exceeded, you know, the heavens, man. And Yahawashi144 is going to bring plagues upon this place, right? Catastrophic events, things that's going to make you fucking mind just boggle.
Well, I said divine. See, people are going to know that God did this.
Right.
See, right now they'll see a plague, and you know, they'll just say, "Oh, you know, this happened. So happened by chance." Now, people are going to acknowledge that God is punishing the world. You know, because God is an afterthought now. Oh, you know, God. When you talk about God, people lose concentration, lose focus. See, but He's going to get your attention.
That's right. That's
You know?
right.
Real quick, this is Numbers chapter 23, verse 19. It says, the Most High is not a man that he should lie, neither the Son of Man that he should repent. Had he said, and shall he not do it? Or had he spoken, and shall he not make it good? God's going to make it good, man. All right? That's a maturity.
Hey, give me that strange work. You know? Because things are about to get real strange and eerie. Peculiar. As they should be. Because of the wickedness. And like we were saying earlier, a bunch of freaks walking around. You know, weirdos. I was at work the other day and the guy said, I wouldn't mind if my wife wanted to get popped by another man. You know, a bunch of weirdos,
Fucking
man.
cut.
You know,
He listens too much Kanye in his mind.
You know, like niggas, that spirit, that Diddy spirit is in the earth.
Yup.
You got no text. No man with testosterone gonna say them bullshit.
Like, yeah, you know, and people, you know, you'd be surprised how many people undercover they accept this. You know, we're living in a nasty, foul, disgusting.
Hey, there's a good thing going on, especially on Jake. Where Jake women are marrying feminine men. I forget what they call that. Violent something, but beta males? Yeah, they're dealing with beta males now. They're not even dealing with a real man.
Yeah, are they? It's saying also where they dealing with homosexuals.
Yeah.
She's the boy generation, and he's the girl.
Right, this is a sick world, man.
Babylon.
The scripture said that the earth is defiled under the inhabitants thereof.
Yep.
They've broken the everlasting covenant. They're going off and doing their own thing.
You know, but they're gonna ask why God? Why? Why?
You got a quick one in the back. You also put on what you said. This is the book of Psalms chapter 12, verse 8. It says the wicked walk on every side when the vilest men are exalted. And that's why you see wickedness all throughout the four corners of the earth, man. That's why you see all this wicked shit. Because Esau, either the so-called white man is a bullshit. The scriptures say, as the ruler, so are the people. And that's why you see people argue on this weird shit, man. Isaiah chapter 28, verse 21, it says, for Yahweh shall rise up as in Mount Perazim. He shall be wroth as in the valley of Gibeon, that he may do his work, his strange work, and bring to pass his act, his strange act.
That's right. It's about to get real strange around here. You know, you boiling a child is very peculiar and strange. To be able to eat. That's not something you see on an everyday basis. You know, the first thing people on the sign say, why God? But nobody want to examine their behavior. You know, you got a child that's acting up in school, but you'll correct them. Everybody want to correct somebody, but you don't want to correct their own behavior. They won't look in the mirror and just stop. Stop being a homosexual. Stop being a freak or weirdo. They won't stop until it's too late. And that's the storyline of our people. They don't stop until it's too late. Until they on a fucking t-shirt.
I got something. This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 17, verse 1. For great are thy judgments. And who judges the earth? The God of Israel, by the way. It cannot be expressed. Therefore, unnurtured souls have erred. See that? Okay. So, what the beloved brother is saying is on point. Okay. The Lord's judgments are great, but yet, our people and the rest of these people, man, they have unnurtured souls, man. Okay.
Yep.
They're moving in a way that is not normal.
Exactly.
According to the God of Israel.
Yep.
Not according to you or what this fucking government, these scientists are saying. Okay?
I can't even stop. Y'all don't even know what's food. Jake don't even know what's lawful to eat.
Nope.
Out of nowhere, you just see niggas just eating unlawful. It's just, you know, we heard of alligator, but now they're making it like front stream again. Like, you know what I'm saying? The front stream, like. I got something. Go ahead, that's one. Some of the our people after does not know. My people does not consider.
Even an animal considers.
Because he knows who's giving him food. He has to acknowledge that this is the person that's giving me food. This is the one that's giving me shelter.
That's a beast.
Yeah.
It's a beast. And the Lord said that our people are Lord in the beast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't even know who's giving them aid or who's shilling them.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
That's a person that needs to be put down.
Yeah. Yeah, like my cat Nala, man. She acknowledges me all the time. You know? First thing in the morning, she's at my side of the bed. First thing, not like clockwork, 6 in the morning. Because she knows she's gonna get fed at 6 in the morning. Man. At my side of my bed. I get up, boom. She's purring, praising me. You know, when a cat purrs, they're happy to be around you. You know, I'm feeding her, just to give an example. So you worse than a cat, man. How fucked up is that? Right.
Very stubborn, man. You gotta break it off an oxen.
Right.
Those are very stubborn animals.
Right.
So for that animal, as stubborn as he is, to understand who's owner is, and it takes that to me, that's really a test of them all, man. Just show how low that thing takes. When in the pool, the Lord is basically saying you guys are a bunch of Eeyores. Isaiah 1:4 says, a sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters. They have forsaken the Lord, they have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger, they are gone away backward. This is the state of our people.
You got people defending Diddy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Like, what's going on here, man?
It's crazy.
Bunch of freaks.
Our people like pigs.
Yeah.
That laid in the mud. They filthy, they water in there. Yes, I love to sin. See me? I'm sinning. I got Daniel chapter 9 and verse 5. Verse 5, and this is what you was saying, you know, our people have a sickness on them.
Yep.
Isaiah 1:5, it says, why should you be stricken anymore? You revolt more and more. The whole head is sick and the whole heart faint.
Right, and the whole head is sick, starting with Judah.
Yeah.
All right? Because Judah, all right, the book of Judah ain't serving the Lord. The rest of the tribes are all fucking, man. All right, because Judah's the head tribe. So that's the reason why all our people are sick, man. They seeing what the so-called black man's doing. Well, if he's doing that, I can do it. You know?
I'll give you an example.
Yep.
You remember niggas doing skits acting like girls?
Yep.
Dressed like girls? Judah the one who started it.
Yeah.
Now you see all the tribes.
All the tribes doing it, yep.
Putting on dresses.
Yeah.
Yep. And I noticed that too. Whenever Judah does something trendy, all right, Northern Kingdom be right next doing the Spanish version of it. Yeah. The Spanish version. The same shit. Okay? It goes to show you, man, Judah's that tribe, as it says in Genesis 49. You know, that thy brother would praise thee, man. But again, instead of, coming to the real men of the Lord, starting with Judah on down, nah, you want to do all the wicked shit. You want to follow Diddy. That's why the whole head is sick. All right, you're unnatural. You're brute beast, man. All right, you need a physician, and that physician, unfortunately, is going to hurt. Nuclear fire. All right, that's the remedy for your ass.
That's the cure.
Mm-hmm.
In Daniel chapter 5, Daniel chapter 9, verse 5, it says, we have sinned and have committed iniquity and have done wickedly and have rebelled even by departing from thy precepts and from thy judgments. This is what happened with our people.
Right, but notice they're acknowledging it. We have sinned.
Right.
We went against the Lord. The bulk of our people ain't saying that. Only the elect is saying that. Bulk of our people are not acknowledging their sins. They're not saying, I'm going off. They're not getting on their knees. All right? Praise it to Yahawashi144. I've sinned. Salakia. They're not showing no remorse whatsoever. I want to make that a point. You know? No.
Very prideful. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 6, it says, neither have we hearkened unto thy servants, the prophets, which spake in thy name to our kings, our princes, and our fathers, and to all the people of the land. O Lord, righteousness belongeth unto thee, but unto us confusion of faces, as it is this day to the men of Judah and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem and unto all Israel that are near and that are far off, to all the countries whither thou hast driven them, because of their trespass that they have trespassed against thee. O Lord, to us belongeth confusion of face, to our kings, to our princes, to our fathers, because we have sinned against thee.
Right, when you go into that word confusion of faces, confusion means shame. All right? It's a shame that that we're in this condition, man. All right? All of us.
Exactly, it is.
It's a big shame, man. It's a shameful thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be the role models of the earth.
Yeah.
Everybody's supposed to look at us.
Exactly.
All right, but now everybody look at us and talk shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Are these the people?
Right.
Black fatigue.
The nigga fatigue, yeah. That's all you see
Yep.
now. Red pill.
Yeah.
Myers and all that.
Yeah.
Black fatigue, nigga
Yeah.
fatigue.
How about that guy?
Yeah.
You know, so you know the scriptures. These are the people. That's why they're gonna marvel like what? You know, because we're not acting like the regal people that we are. Go ahead, brother.
Daniel chapter 9 and verse 9. To the Lord our power belong mercies and forgivenesses. Though we have rebelled against him, neither have we obeyed the voice of Yahweh our power to walk in his laws, which he set before us by his servants the prophets. Yea, all Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore, the curse is poured upon us.
I want to say one thing too. Every beast, when you go into the nature, every beast corrects their child. Right? Sometimes you see a monkey spanking their little baby or grabbing them.
Because he has to.
Exactly.
Because you can die. There's a predator. Danger.
So there's no difference.
Yep.
You know, so when you are being corrected as a Jacob's trouble, you know, that's going to be the correction for our people.
That's how you learn it by death.
Death by pain. So there's no difference, you know, between a gorilla and a monkey or human. We're all beasts, you know. And the Most High, the Father, Yahweh, through his son Yahawashi, he's going to put that spanking on our people. Those the bad ones. The one, you know, how you see a group of lions walking together or a group of ducks. Those that you got some that follow their mom and some that go astray.
Yeah.
Well, the ones that go astray, they're gonna get spankings. They're gonna get that spanking.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, because they're putting themselves at risk by going astray. Verse 11, Daniel 9, verse 11 says, Yea, all Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore the curse is poured upon us, and the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of God, because we have sinned against him.
And even Jake believe in karma.
Right.
So, according to universal law, to what y'all believe in,
Right.
well, if they say what? If you do wrong, wrong gonna come to you, right? Yeah. You guys believe that. So, you guys are a bunch of hypocrites.
Yep. It says, verse 12, and he hath confirmed his words which he spake against us and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil. For under the whole heaven hath not been done as it hath been done upon Jerusalem.
Well, doesn't it make sense, right? It makes sense for Israel to be judged very harshly because you are the best people on the planet Earth. So therefore, you get the harshest judgment. Right? If you got 3 kids in the house, who are you coming to beat first if the house fucked up?
The oldest.
You coming to get the oldest.
Yep.
You coming to get the one which most likely got the most wisdom. He's the oldest.
Yep.
You getting that ass tore up.
Now also include Christians, alright, that we aren't Israelites. Because we the ones that have been treated wrong than any other people on the world.
Yep.
Alright? Stop fucking questioning us. You don't believe it, keep us alone. Verse 13, it says, as it is written in the law of Moses, all this evil is come upon us, yet made we not our prayer before the Lord our power, that he might turn from our iniquities and understand thy truth. Therefore hath the Lord watched upon
the evil and hath brought it upon us. For the Lord our power is righteous in all his works, which he doeth, for we obeyed not his voice.
That's right.
And now, O Lord power, thou hast brought thy people forth out of the land of Egypt with a mighty hand, and hast gotten thee renowned. It says, as this day we have sinned, we have done wickedly. So, all in all, we have done wickedly, man.